everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how point drifting works, or power sliding. Yeah, whatever. So in this video I'm going to show you how I set up my cars for point drifting and how you can set it up, and how can it works, and why people get so extremely much points versus maybe other people who don't get any points at all. Why it's a big difference and stuff like that, and how it works. And of course, if you guys are interested in seeing me streaming and stuff like that, check me out on Twitch. The link is down below. Playing a lot of games, so check me out there, guys. Okay, so we're gonna try to do this kind of fast. So the upgrade is kind of really easy. What I'm using for the upgrades, like on all cars I'm doing, all-wheel drive, drifting, power sliding, point drifting, I max it out. Max it out. I want as much power as possible. That's how I do it. Maybe you guys don't do it like that, but I do like that, and it worked great. So in this case, with the M2 BMW Formula Drift, I have actually a standard powertrain. And I think that is because I get more power versus the racing 3 liters engine. Doing all-wheel drive cars, and of course it works better with all-wheel drive when you do point drifting, because of the speed and stuff like that. And of course, if you have turbos, put the turbos on. Supercharger if you want to do that. The tires we can actually do the last. The transmission I'm using 7-speed for my kind of tunings. Drivetrain upgrade, the drift diff, of course. Brakes full upgraded. For the Formula Drift cars, the suspension, it's actually standard drift, so you don't really need to change anything. It's another car, you need to, of course, take the drift suspension. It's recommendation. And of course, weight reduction, you kind of want less weight, that's better. So that's kind of easy, right? And now to the tires. If you have like max everything out here, in my case I'm using often what I do with its rims. I take a rim that looks nice and it's kind of weight reduction on, like actually often what I'm using, it's these Volk Racing TE37s, because I like them. It's like drifty and yeah, it's kind of nice, but it doesn't do anything, so I'm using standard. So let's go to the tires. We actually have 3 or 4 tires in Forza Horizon 5. And Forza Horizon 4, we only had, the Formula Drift car had only 1 tire. You could not change them. That was kind of lucky. But in this game, you can actually change them. So you kind of want that. So in Formula Drift cars, the standard tires is the drift tire. So can we zoom in or not? Oh, sound good. So actually the drift tire is the standard one. The drift tire, I'm going to explain. It works for really good for real drive drifting, also all-wheel drive drifting. It's more, for me, I feel like it's more the technical tire in a way, because you get a lot of grip, but you can drift really good with it. So I'm using it actually a lot for the technical parts, the technical drift zones mostly. That's what there I kind of want a drift tire. We have the rally tire. It's kind of the same. Only different there is a bit more slippery than the drift tires. I don't really use them so much, but check them out and see what you feel about it. But the big difference it actually does is the off-road tires, and they look funky, I know, but what it does, it's actually a lot less slippery, a lot more slippery, not less, than the drift tires. So what if you want that, you have still a kind of okay grip, but it's more slippery car. And for point drifting, you kind of want that in a way because the e-brake and the slide in a way because you want to come longer. So these are really good, especially on the mountain drift zones and the bit longer drifts you need to do, or in this case, the long power slide or drift. So check them out because they are surprisingly good. They look a bit funky though, but who cares? If you can drift good, no one gonna really notice that. Then we have the snow tire. And if you don't know about the snow tire, you have missed something. In Forza Horizon 4, we had the drag tune, a lot of people called it. And what that does is like, you can take the drag tire, have a lot of grip in the front of the car when you go straight. But you go on the side, you have no grip in a way. It's like the same still, but they are kind of worthless now for point drifting. I know some people using them. I don't really like them, actually. I think it's too extreme. So the snow tire is really good, even for real drive cars. I was gonna say that. Just test them out and see what you think about it. So what the snow tire does, it's extremely slippery. They are hard. They're like the best thing. If you want to really be good at point drifting, you need to learn the snow tires. And we're gonna actually use the snow tires today because they are amazing and they work great in snow. Oh, win-win. The rim size is kind of up to you guys, how you guys want it, but it's weight, so it's up to you. But you can use the standard. We're gonna go through the tuning also, but the tire width of the tire, the bigger tire, the wider tire you have, the wider tire you have, the more grip you have. So the smaller tire you have, the less grip you have. Okay, it's kind of similar. It's like kind of logic, right? So in this case, I want less grip, so I'm gonna go standard. And they are standard there also. That's perfect. That's done. So go to tuning. I'm not really going to go extremely in depth what everything does. I just going to go the point drifting, how it kind of works and how I set it up. The tires, it's depending really what kind of tires you have. If it's snow tires, I'm usually want low or something on the lower side. And that's why I don't really want to go mayhem with no grip at all. So I kind of want some grip. So less higher pressure is a bit more grip. Higher pressure is less grip in a way. When I do drift tires, I usually go maximum high bar or high PSI because I kind of want a bit less grip. Something like that. But it's up to you mostly what you kind of feel about it. The gearing, it's mostly also up to you how you want to drift your car. It depends on what engine you have in the car, how much power you have in the car and stuff like that. You need to really tune it how you drift. It's your first time drifting, stuff like that. I have actually a video out in my channel. I can link it up somewhere in the top. So if you're interested in looking on that, check it out. And that's like how to drift the all-wheel drive, stuff like that. I think I'm going through the gearing there, so check that video out for the gearing. But this is mostly, if you, depends on, some people like to drift on 3rd or 4th gear. I don't really like that. I am more like 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th gear kind of drifter in a way. So if you want these kind of, pause the video and take it if you want it. Alignment, I'm doing the camber. It's maximum camber for less grip. If you have no camber, you have more grip. The toe is like the horizontal camber in a way, you say. Why I have maximum toe out is because it helps holding the car in the corners a bit more. But it actually does a lot, actually. It's a big difference. It's weird. It's actually it does. So it's a lot of people who doing point drifting actually do these kind of things. It's like all-wheel drive, much horsepower, and toe, maximum toe out, maximum camber negative. So that's like the rule in a way. It's weird, I know, but it kind of works. But you cannot really use the car for racing after this if you have this tune in. So it's only for drifting. On caster you can do between 5 and 7. I think it's, I don't really remember what it does, but it stands here what it kind of does. I think it's something with the camber when turning the wheels and stuff like that. And roll bars in this car, I have everything soft, and because I kind of want that kind of soft car when I'm drifting, so maybe that's why I have it. But in the Formula Drift cars, you can actually use the standard tuning kind of a lot. They are kind of good tuned actually. They're kind of really good tuned. So if you don't really know, use that roll bar standard on the Formula Drift cars, or a bit softer way maybe. Up to you. The springs and ride height. The springs is same there. Formula Drift cars is kind of set up kind of good. I usually go a bit softer. Depends what kind of car, and because I kind of want it kind of soft. Ride height extremely low. The dampening, I don't really want to go before I max it out soft. But what I noticed was the car was really bumpy, and it was weird when I come in the bump or in the apex or stuff like that. So I kind of took it up more stiffness, and it actually helped a lot for more control of the car. So I'm usually do on the T on the soft. I'm usually do that, and or a bit higher maybe. The bump stiffness a bit lower than the rebound stiffness. This arrow I do all speed. I don't know if it's actually doing anything when you're drifting with the corners and stuff like that. If not, someone know that, let me know in the comment area, because I have no clue if actually the arrow does anything when you're drifting or power sliding. If someone know that, please let me know in the comments. Braking, it's really individual what you kind of like. Using rear, because when I've not tweaked anything except this, the power force. So what's happening in the rear now? In a real car, you have ish 70% braking force on the front tires and 30 in the rear. That's a real car. That's how it works. Maybe it's a bit different, but it's mainly like how it works. But I kind of don't want that. I kind of want, when I'm braking, I kind of want like the side going out a bit when I'm braking, so it's easier to take it up on a drift and stuff like that. But it's really individual how you kind of want your braking. Try it out. The differential, I do all acceleration maximum, like 100%, and deceleration I do 0. Deceleration I think is like when you don't. I don't know. I don't feel a big difference there, but I do 0, so go with that. The central balancing, because it's an all-wheel drive car. If you put it, we say like this, if you put it on 50%, then you have 50% in the front, 50% in the rear. Okay, that's how it works. In the front, in a front wheel drive car or four-wheel drive wheel car, you have the central drift in the front and nothing in the back. If you have a rear-wheel drive car, you can say do 100%. Then you have everything in the rear and nothing in the front. In an all-wheel drive car, you kind of, I have it actually set up 70 on the first tune, and then you have 70% of the force is on the rear-wheel drive, on the rear tires, and 30% on the front. That's how it works. But in this case, I've already tuned it a bit, so I do 75-ish. So kind of easy. So it's not that hard to do, actually. So yeah, check it out. And of course, if you want to do some painting, let's see, go for that. But in this case, it's kind of cool. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna test it out. We have some snow tires, and yeah, how this works. And point drifting, it's different between real drive drifting, of course, versus all-wheel drive drifting a bit. People take it like more like all-wheel drive cars don't drift. Maybe, yeah. I don't really want to do a big thing about it, but we can say like in general, all-wheel drive cars, everyone says it's power sliding in a way. Maybe it is, but I'm still using the word drifting, and yeah, who cares? It's a game, right? So let's do some point drifting. So how it works, it's, you see it's snow tires and do e-brake now, kind of go really far with them. It's raining though. Put e-braking in here. Lot of speed. This is power sliding 100%. Even real drive cars need to do that. A lot of e-brake.
You have arrived at your destination.
That's how it works. So what the difference is between the snow tire and drift tires, it's I can go longer with the e-brake, I can brake the car longer and stuff like that on the side than I can do with drift tire. And the difference between point drifting and regular drifting, it's that's the difference. It's like often what people do, it's like regular drifting is real drive, and you cannot really do this extremely. Maybe you can actually if you do in the snow tires. I don't really know. I need to try that. Maybe it's another video actually. How can you do point drifting with a real drive car? You need to practice with real drive, but that's how it kind of works. Like it's mainly maybe power sliding in point drifting than actually drifting. What are you doing? So the difference is like in drifting it's more technical and stuff like that, and it's real drive and stuff like that. But point drifting is all-wheel drive, extremely lot of power, snow tires because you can slide longer and e-brake longer, and it's just like if you really want the leaderboard to come higher in the leaderboards, try out this because it really works great. I love it. It's so fun. And I think that was everything. I'm not gonna babble more. Time picks. But like the video, guys, and help me with the algorithm on YouTube. It really does help. And give me a comment also. It's really nice to read what you guys are writing, and it's really nice. And thanks so much for your support, guys. It's really nice to see so much support from the community and stuff like that, and new members and stuff like that. And we're not that long from monetization, so if you really want to help, give me a sub, like, and comment. And check me out on Twitch also if you want to. I think that was everything. Is there anything? Comment, and bye bye.